Yo, what's up guys, Jack here, and today something extra special for you. Origin Access have sponsored this video for me, and they asked me to put something together that signifies what's great about PC gaming. A celebration of it, if you will, within the context of the games available to play on Origin Access. And so what better way to do that than with a 4K showcase. On PC, 4K is widely accepted as a rendering resolution of 3840 by 2160, 4 times the number of pixels on a standard 1920 by 1080 monitor. And with 4K monitors and TVs becoming cheaper and more readily available, the adoption rate of devices that can display this resolution is steadily increasing, in fact faster than 1080p screens ever did. So then, enough of the fluff, let's take a look at some games running on a 980 Ti SLI setup. And remember, even if you're watching this on a 1080p or 1440p monitor, you'll still get better quality by selecting the 4K option, as YouTube assigns it with a higher bitrate, but you will need a good internet connection to buffer it without any lag. So in the background here, you're seeing Battlefield Hardline, frames per second displayed in the top left on what I think is the prettiest level in the game, the museum. Some excellent lighting effects and detail. Oh, and it's got dinosaurs too. Definitely the best map. Dinosaurs are just cool. Next up, Battlefield 3. Oh baby, the first time we saw this game was over 4 years ago, way back in April 2011 with the epic Fault Line single player trailer. It was posted online and everyone just went nuts. It was an incredible gameplay trailer that blew everyone away. It still looks amazing if you go and watch it back today, but it was only in 1080p back then. Now, glorious 4K at 60 FPS. The first mission is incredible and sets up the story of the game nicely, demonstrating the updates and power of the Frostbite engine in terms of character models, lighting and realistic looking animations.
Stand by! 3, 2, 1, suppressing! On target!
Tango's by the walkway, left side!
Misfit 1-3, coordinate 5-0.
Waste those guys!
Inbound.
Oh, fuck! Earthquake!
Come on, let's fucking go!
Moving on now to Battlefield 4. We all know how beautiful this game looks, and it's more than 2 years old now. I think it's still one of the nicest looking multiplayer shooters on the market. At ultra settings on PC, it's a sight to behold, and here I picked the community map to show off the game. In my opinion, probably the nicest looking BF4 map set in the jungle, with dense foliage, waterfalls and plenty of destruction to top it all off. BF4 looks wonderful in 4K and was built from the ground up to support that resolution. If you've got the hardware, I definitely recommend playing through the single player campaign in 4K too. It's an incredibly cinematic experience. Need for Speed Rivals. This one released in November 2013, and believe it or not, just like BF3, BF4 and Hardline, it's also a Frostbite engine game developed by Ghost Games and introducing the concept of All Drive, a system where players can seamlessly drop into a multiplayer instance of the world and complete races, missions and events with their friends. And just like BF4, although it's over 2 years old, it still looks incredible, especially in 4K. We've got realistic car models, various environments to drive around with dynamic weather effects, rain, snow, desert and woods. Need for Speed Rivals is a gorgeous looking arcade racer. Next up, Unravel, recently released, and there's a 10-hour trial available for it on Origin Access. Unravel is a fun platformer where you play as Yarny, a small creature made of yarn, kind of looks like a cat crossed with a man. Catman, I call him, gaze upon his marvellous face. And Catman has got an important job to do. He's reliving an old woman's memories through photographs scattered around her house. Very interesting physics-based puzzles here, making bridges, swinging, rappelling, creating elaborate pulley systems so you can 1v1 crabs. It's a beautiful game, visually impressive with an excellent soundtrack. And now a slightly older game that still looks great in 4K, Dead Space 3 from Visceral Games. A direct sequel to Dead Space 2, focusing heavily on the action horror elements of the series. You get to know the protagonist Isaac Clarke a bit more here too, and they also added roll and cover mechanics. And this game utilised a diegetic HUD system, as did the other two Dead Space games, and that means that all of the information supplied to the player that would usually be seen in an overlay on top of the game, that's stuff like ammo, health and cutscenes, it's all actually in the game world itself, meaning that there's no cuts and you're constantly immersed in the action. The game runs great at 4K with some excellent lighting effects, dismemberment and action set pieces.
Hey, who wants candy?
The A7 security breach in progress. Clear all public spaces in Africa. Stay indoors.
Another game hot off the presses, available on trial for 10 hours, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, and this looks stunning in 4K. Seeing the 2D characters from PvZ come to life in glorious 3D is hilarious. The reload animations, the attention to detail and character art is on point. Plus, as a multiplayer game, there's a surprising amount of depth here and it runs great too. As with Need for Speed, this is also a Frostbite engine game. And finally, Dragon Age Inquisition, released in November 2014, very recently in fact, so it looks gorgeous. Dragon Age Inquisition has received numerous awards and nominations from gaming publications, Game of the Year in many circumstances. This is an epic RPG from BioWare which you can sink many hours into. A fantasy game that looks great and scales excellent at 4K resolutions with some great particle effects for magic spells, vistas and snow-capped mountains that span far into the background. Okay, so there we have it, 8 Origin Access games running at 4K that you can watch on YouTube and soak in all of those delicious pixels. I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase, and let me know down in the comments below which game you thought looked the best out of all of these. Not necessarily the one that looked the most realistic, but let's go for whichever one made you say wow. Which one was the most visually impressive of them all? As always, thank you for watching guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, a thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one.